Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have these 2-burner or single burner propane heaters, tank top heaters. Dug this one out of storage and it doesn't work. So did some research, figured out how they're supposed to work, and they're actually fairly simple. So there's only, I believe, like 2 things that can prevent it from working. Each one of the burners has its own thermocouple, which when you hold this in, that bypasses a spring and opens the valve. And when that thermocouple heats up, it holds that valve open. Not physically this part here. I'll zoom in then later and show you more of this stuff, but there's a valve within this body that it holds open. This will return out, of course. And then if that thermocouple cools back off, it will pop back, the spring will pop it back closed and it will shut off. Also, this black container right here houses a big ball bearing in here and a switch down here. Basically, the ball bearing is weight that falls down onto that switch and closes the circuit. If that ball bearing would roll, if this thing tips and that ball bearing comes off that switch, the circuit is now open and that thermocouple voltage does not make it to the valve down here, so the valve pops closed. Hope that makes sense, but to test this thing, first of all, I guess let me show you what it's doing. So, I'll turn the tank on, turn it on high, get my lighter going, hold the valve. We got fire. That should be plenty long. Let go of the valve, goes off. So, first thing we're going to check is this switch, because it's the easiest to check. So, let me see if I can get you a better shot here. Alright guys, we have the tip-over switch bypassed. I literally just unplugged the 2 wires from it and tied them together here with a fishtail. Anyway, anything you have will do. I mean, all you gotta do is connect them with something conductive. So, with that said, I'm gonna lay the microphone down for a second, and I'm going to take an aim flame. On the other side of the burner here, the thermocouple is right on the edge. You can see them. It's the funny pointy thing sticking in towards the burner. I'm just going to hold the valve in, heat that up a little bit, and then release the valve and wait a couple seconds and see if I can hear a click. So hold the valve in, heat the thermocouple up. Shouldn't take much. Alright, and now we wait for a click. There it was. Alright, that tells me that the thermocouple is working, and we're basically done with this side. The switch is bad. You could also, test continuity between the pins on that switch if you want, which, let me see if I can do that quick just for the sake of showing you. Right now, in this position with it upright, we should have continuity. Turn my gauge to continuity. And we kind of do, but there's a good bit of resistance there. So that's why that's not, actually, yeah, I hope you can hear my meter. I'm just lightly moving that wire, and that'll definitely be enough to mess it up, because we're talking millivolts here. We're not talking 12 volts or anything crazy. So, well, not that 12 volts is crazy, but yeah, we're talking just a couple millivolts to make this system work, and a switch that's doing that is not going to function. So I'm going to put this side back together, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side and see if it's the same issue. Alright, hopefully you can see this. This is the safety shutoff valve. When you push, this is disassembled a little bit of course, but when you push the valve to start it, it depresses this plunger. And as you can see right now with no heat, it just stays spring loaded and comes right back out. So if I take a little aim flame here and heat the thermocouple up in the heater itself, it stays in. If If I take the flame away, it will pop back out when it cools down. And there it went. And if you want to watch the millivolt reading on the thermocouple, there's no heat applied right now, and you'll probably hear the click for when I light it. There we go. And it already stays engaged, the safety valve that is. And you'll hear the click when it disengages. Hopefully you heard that on the camera. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the video, I believe. So to summarize, like I said, there's basically only a couple things that can keep these things from working. Obviously gas flow is one of them, but you know, if you push this valve in and you hear gas flowing, that's not the issue. So the biggest things are the thermocouple and this tip over switch. Like I say, this one was in storage for a while, so this thing probably has crappy contacts or something on the inside. And that's why they are both junk. And as stated earlier, these things only put out millivolts, so way less than a volt, so these contacts have to be pristine for the correct voltage to make it through and do its thing. So thermocouple, tip over switch, and that's pretty much it. So I hope that helps you out in diagnosing what's wrong with yours. I did do a YouTube search myself before I dug into this and found that most people are just bypassing or gluing the button shut or something like that, which yeah, it works. It's not exactly safe, but hopefully this helps you diagnose what's wrong with yours, and hopefully you know exactly what to get. So till next time, see ya.